Hey, what's up, guys? CombatCritique here. Let's take a look at this upcoming fight between Rafael Fiziev and Mateusz Gamrot. So let's get started. If we look at the records of these two guys, starting with Fiziev, so Fiziev has 14 MMA fights and he's won 12 of his 14 fights, lost just 2. If we talk about his 12 wins, he has 8 wins via knockout, just 1 via submission, and 3 via decision. So most of his wins are via knockout. He is a very exciting fighter to watch. If we talk about his 2 losses, he has lost once via knockout and also once via decision. Now let's take a look at Mateusz Gamrot's record. So Gamrot has 25 fights, so significantly more experience in MMA for Mateusz Gamrot compared to Rafael Fiziev, who has just 14 MMA fights. And if we talk about his wins, so 22 wins out of the 25 fights for Mateusz Gamrot, and he's lost just 2 fights. If we talk about his 22 wins, he has 7 wins via knockout, 5 wins via submission, and 10 wins via decision. If we talk about his 2 losses, both of them have been decision losses, and he also has one no contest on his record. Now let's take a look at the physical and career stats for both these guys, starting with the height. So height is 5 feet 8 for Rafael Fiziev and it is 5'10 for Mateusz Gamrot. So Gamrot should have a 2-inch height advantage in this fight. If we talk about the weight, it is 155 pounds for both these guys unless somebody misses weight, which I don't think either man should. Reach is 71 inches for Rafael Fiziev and it is 70 inches for Mateusz Gamrot. So Fiziev will have a slight 1-inch reach advantage. If we talk about the stance, Fiziev is a switch stance fighter, whereas Gamrot is a southpaw. Talking about the age, both of these are pretty young fighter, but Fiziev is younger by about 3 years. I don't think age will play much of a factor in this fight. Now let's talk about the career statistics, starting with the strikes landed per minute. So this signifies the number of significant strikes that you land on your opponent per minute on average. This is 5.06 for Rafael Fiziev and it is 3.03 for Mateusz Gamrot. So in this case, a clear advantage goes to Fiziev. He is landing a lot more significant strikes per minute on his opponents. Striking accuracy is 51% for Fiziev and it is also 51% for Gamrot. So we have a tie. Both these guys are even. Next up, we have the strikes absorbed per minute. This signifies the number of significant strikes that you absorb from your opponents per minute. On average, this is 5.17 for for Rafael Fiziev. He gets it pretty often. And if we talk about Gamrot, it is 3.23. So in this case, the guy with the lower number has an advantage because he is getting hit lesser. So here the advantage goes to Gamrot. Striking defense is 48% for Fiziev and it is 60% for Gamrot. So again, a clear advantage here goes to Gamrot. Overall, in the offensive striking, I think the the stats favor Fiziev more, whereas in the defensive striking department, the last two metrics that we have seen are for the defensive striking. Those favor Gamrot clearly. Now let's talk about the wrestling, grappling and BJJ statistics. Starting with the takedown average, it is 0.31 for Fiziev and 4.54 for Gamrot. So Gamrot will have a clear, huge advantage here. He is the better wrestler in this fight. Takedown accuracy is 40% for Fiziev and it is just 31% for Gamrot, and this is a concerning number for him. So here the takedown accuracy advantage goes to Fiziev. Takedown defense is 90% for Fiziev, which is really good, and it is also 90% for Gamrot. So both these guys are again even in the takedown defense department. Submission average is 0 for Fiziev. He has not attempted a single submission in the UFC so far, whereas it is 0.2 for Gamrot. So a slight advantage goes to Gamrot here. Overall, I think the takedown defense of Fiziev, which is 90%, will really be tested, and the takedown accuracy of 31% for Mateusz Gamrot, this will have to be improved if he wants to win this fight. I think his chance of winning this fight would have improved a lot if this takedown accuracy would have been in the 60% or even in the 50% range, but this 31% as it is not a good sign, and this can be the reason why he might lose this fight. However, let's take a look at the significant strikes by position for both these guys, starting with Rafael Fiziev. So 89% of all the strikes that Fiziev throws are from the standing position, 10% from the clinch, and just 1% on the ground. He does not like to ground and pound at all. If we talk about Mateusz Gamrot, 82% of all his strikes are from the standing position, 8% in the clinch, and 10% on the ground. So he uses ground and pound more often than Rafael Fiziev. Now let's take a look at the significant strikes by target. 46% of all the strikes that Fiziev throws are to the head, 36% to the body, and 18% to the leg. So he is pretty well diversified in terms of his shot selection. Whereas if we talk about Gamrot, 70% of all his strikes to the head, he is pretty much head hunting, and 15% to the body and 15% to the leg. So again, Fiziev uses a lot more variety in his shots. He goes to the body and head pretty often, whereas if we talk about Gamrot, he pretty much always goes to the head. And if we talk about the ground game, Fiziev has a slightly worse ground game than Gamrot. Now let's talk about the previous performances of these two guys, starting with Fiziev. So Fiziev in his last fight lost to Justin Gaethje by majority decision. He won the first round but lost the second and the third round. And this fight happened in March of this year. So he is taking close to 4 to 5 months off and coming back to fight once again. If we talk about his prior fight, he beat RDA via knockout punches in the 5th round, and this fight happened in July of last year. Before that, he beat Brad Riddle also via knockout spinning wheel kick in the 3rd round, and this fight happened in December of 2021. Before this, he beat Bobby Green via unanimous decision in a 3-round fight. He also beat Renato Moicano via knockout in the very first round, and Mark Diakis via unanimous decision in a 3-round fight. So quite a few of big names on his record. Now let's take a look at Mateusz Gamrot's last fight. So in his last fight, he beat Jalin Turner via split decision. Jalin Turner, who is really big and really crafty striker, Mateusz used his wrestling to win a split decision. This fight happened in March of this year. So both these guys are not taking a lot of time off. They are coming back after around 5 months. And before this fight, Gamrot lost to Beneil Dariush. He was a favorite in this fight. He was expected to beat Beneil Dariush, and then people were counting on him to face on the champion Islam Makhachev, but Beneil beat Mateusz Gamrot via unanimous decision. This fight happened in October of last year. It was a 3-round fight. And before that, Mateusz Gamrot beat Arman Sarukian via unanimous decision in a 5-round main event fight. This happened in June of last year, and this is the fight that got everybody excited about Mateusz Gamrot, and they were thinking that this man will go on to fight Islam Makhachev. However, that did not happen. Beneil Dariush beat him via unanimous decision. If we talk about the fight before that, he beat Carlos Diego Ferreira via TKO in the 2nd round, and this fight happened in December of 2021. Before this, he beat Jeremy Stephens via Kimura in the very first round, and he also beat Scott Holtzman via knockout punches in the 2nd round. This fight happened in April of 2021. If I have to pick a winner of this fight, I think I'm gonna go with Mateusz Gamrot. I think he has more MMA experience. He is the better wrestler. He has slightly better grappling. He has better submissions, and we have seen in the striking part, the offensive striking favors Rafael Fiziev, whereas the defensive again favors Mateusz Gamrot. I think for these reasons, I'm picking him to win this fight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.